If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Why? It's double brew day. Good morning, how you going? Got my cup of coffee, I'm ready to go for a big day in the brew shed. Doing 2 brews today. First up over there already going, I've got my Citra Smash Ale going. And then my other beer today is going to be a first timer for me. I'm still on the search for that perfect summer ale to be drinking at my shack this summer. I was actually planning on making a different recipe, but then I saw a can of this in the fridge in the shed, the DPC. I thought to myself, this beer is such an awesome thirst quenching summer type beer, a 3.8% West Coast IPA. So it just ticked so many beer boxes for me. Then I remembered about DIY Dog. You know, it's that huge document that BrewDog produced where they distilled all of their beers in their entire catalogue down into homebrew recipes. So I dug out the Dead Pony Club recipe and here we are, ready to brew. As you can see on the screen, it's basically pale, caramel and crystal 150 with Simcoe and Citra hop additions at the start and midway through. We're going for an OG of around 1040 and 35 IBUs, finishing up with a 3.8% beer, which will be absolutely perfect for long summer afternoons on the beach. So what I am doing a little bit differently from the DIY Dog recipe is changing the mash and sparge schedule. So I'm going to mash in at 70 degrees Celsius as opposed to 62 in the recipe, and then I'll mash out at 76 degrees and then I'll run it through a 30-minute sparge. I know you guys haven't got a lot of time, so let's just get a montage of my brew day in about 30 seconds. Well, there you go. It's just done its cooling cycle and the sedimentation rest. And as you can see on the screen here, I've got a couple of little wallaby friends that I like to go and take the spent grains to, and they have a nice warm food in their bellies before going to bed tonight. So next step for us is to drain. I like to drain all. We don't leave the sediments in here. We can sort them out later. They'll drop out later. So we'll press to start draining. We'll go to the next step. All right, so I got myself a can of the real Dead Pony Club here that we're going to check against my beer. Just while I'm pouring this, I'll just mention that you might have seen at the end of that montage that I was doing a little bit of flame out hopping just manually with the Brewie. It's something I haven't done before, so I thought I'd give it a shot and just see what it does to the brew in the end. So let's go side by side with these two. As you can see, that's pretty bloody close. I'll put them down there and I'll give you a close-up shot of that so you can see it, but I was a little bit worried about the calculations with the 150 EBC malt, just to whether or not I'd be spot on or not. But looking at those two beers, I'm pretty bloody happy with that. Okay, so I got my trusty SS BrewTech bucket again, which I bloody love, and it is time to ferment this. Throw in the yeast. Now, BrewDog used the Y Yeast 1056 American in theirs. I'm using Safal US 05, potato. Do whatever you want to do with that one, but I'm going to go with this. Looking for a final gravity of 1.012 down from our gravity that I've just measured then on this one, which is 1.041. So pretty happy with that, pretty much on target. Absolutely massive amount of dry hopping to do with this one. You've got Simcoe, Citra and Mosaic to around about 200 grams into this one. So I'm tipping this one's going to be pretty aromatic. Have you brewed any of the DIY dogs yourself? If so, leave me a message and tell me which one you brewed and how it turned out. Because after brewing this one today and seeing how it's turned out so far, I'm pretty happy and I reckon I might go it again. Who knows? The DPC may turn out to be my summer shack ale after all. Well, that's brew day done for me. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Here it is again. The DPC clone from the DIY Dog. How great is it that BrewDog let us make these beers in our own homebrew sheds? I bloody love it. So all that's left to do is the minimal cleanup, which is one of the things I love about Brewie. And then I'm going to enjoy this Dead Pony Club Ale because this is a ripping beer and I might just have a little bit of a relax. So look, until we talk again in this great big craft beer land of ours, cheers to great beers.